Without the usual sneak previews, without celebrities, parties and scandals, IWC has released the latest watch in their Mark series. People might find this boring, people might find even the watch boring, but I don't agree. The IWC Mark XX fits in the row of iconic timepieces that are recognizable and widely respected as classics. So let's go over the specifications and features. We have an automatic pilot's watch with a case diameter of 40 mm. Length lug to lug is 49, height 10.8 and lug width 20. The watch has a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown and is waterproof up to 100 meters. And inside we find the caliber 32111 with a power reserve of 120 hours. The watch comes either with a black or blue dial on a black or blue strap, and the price is 5,700 euros or 5,250 US dollars. Okay, let's start with the design. There are many videos online with comparisons between the Mark XX and the older Mark XVIII. As said, we have a classic here, and so the changes are minimal. Sometimes you need a magnifier to spot them. And from a nerd's perspective, I find this very interesting, but it gives us less information than we think. Nobody really knows if a black date wheel, like you see it on the Mark XVIII, is really better than a white date wheel that you see here. I think more important is to look at the watch as a whole to find out if it's convincing. And we have to see that IWC produces these watches since decades, and many professional designers and watchmakers did their part. So I personally doubt that we are competent enough to say here with determination that, for example, the new larger space between numerals and indices is a bad decision. So if you ignore the past for 1 second and study this dial, you see something very balanced. It is hard to find a single element here that is too big or too small. Note, for example, the amount of white on the left side of the watch, index and number 9, and on the right side, index and white date wheel. Or take the size of the numerals, legible but not exaggerated. And you see a clear hierarchy on the dial, size-wise. Numerals are dominant, then the scale, logo much thinner, type of the watch in a tiny font because functional, unimportant. Then we see a clear dedication to the genre with the large hands, the long second hand that touches the minute scale and a large crown. And you find functional improvements. The watch is a smidgen shorter and many people may find the proportions now more wearable. And of course the water resistance is enhanced. Now you see their calming 100 meters. 2 sentences now about the movement, another type of debate. People ask, is it really in-house? Well, since 2000 IWC is part of the Richemont group together with many other famous watch brands. Among these brands are Baume & Mercier and Panerai. And therefore the calibers Panerai P900, the Baume & Mercier Baumatic and the IWC 32111 are basically the same movements. So more Richemont in-house than IWC in-house. But instead complaining about these terms, I would be glad to have this thing in my watch because it's a well-made monster with the mentioned power reserve of 120 hours. And now about the price. We are above the 5K mark, and of course this is a lot of money, but it's also a lot of watch. And when I compare the price for the Mark XX with newer Panerais, then I must say, yes, it hurts, but it's a rather normal price tag in this segment of the watch market and somewhat suitable for a classic and icon. And that said, allow me to close this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much and see you next Monday to Watch of the Week.